Alright folks, pasture time. It's been a while since we've been back out to the pasture, so bring y'all along with me today. And we'll head to the pasture, see what we got going on back there. But for right now, we are going to load up some feed to take back there with us. So let's get this loaded up and we'll head to the back. Alright, we got some hog feed in there. We got some cow feed in there. And we are going to venture to the back and go get everybody fed and watered. Make sure they're good for the day. Excuse me. I'm gonna get me a adult beverage real quick. All right, let's roll around to this little entrance. We'll pop open our little makeshift gate and we'll get on the road again. Got a little bump or two right here. Ooh. On the road again. Ooh. Sorry guys. Swinging you all over. Let me get out here and open this gate. And we'll let this truck drive in. And I'm gonna go feed and water everybody. So, for those you ain't seen me, this your first time to the channel. I'm Nathan from KBL Texas Homestead, and I welcome you to the channel. For all of those that have been here, I welcome you back to the channel. And let me go grab my truck and we'll continue moving around. Sorry guys, I'm trying to fix this camera. It's all catty-wonka jacked up on me. Alright folks, we'll walk and talk real quick. We're gonna come back here, turn on this water for these animals. Let's fill everybody's water up. Go ahead and feed. There's a lot been going on here on the homestead, getting things ready. We're still crazy mess, got a lot of work to do, but it's getting there slowly but surely. But today it's January 6th. 2022, and we are getting ready for our winter down here in Gulf Coast, Texas. It's not too cold down here. We don't get crazy winters. We get very late winters, and this year's no exception. Another late winter. We haven't reached our colds yet. We got rain coming Saturday and Sunday, 2 days of rain, and then a cool front will blow through, and that's where we get our cold. That's how we get our cold fronts. They're always wet first, and then the cold hits. All right, I'll bring you over here to show you these knuckleheads. So I built a prototype feeder for these hogs, what I wanted it to be like. I'm sure you've seen them all over the web, the intraweb, but you'll be able to pour feed up top, not having to get into the pen. They come down. It's got a lid. I actually took old pallet boards and built this one, everything out of pallets. Used the frame of the pallets, the 2 bars, and then I used the 1 bars for the sides. I actually put them like you would shingles or siding, overlapped them so the rain would flow off. Did the same thing on the bottom. Added a lid. But you can see where this lid is up. Down here there's a gap. They done ripped off some of the panels. I don't know if the video picked it up, but they were trying to flip it over a minute ago. It was flipped over. I had to get it back upright so I could feed them. You can see there's pieces of it laying down right here. So they've put some damage on it. Definitely didn't build it to spec for hogs. So we'll have to do some reinforcing on there. But anywho, let's carry on. I've got water filling up for them now. They had quite a bit of water, but I'm topping it off. I'm gonna go ahead and, even though it's gonna rain here in a couple days, fill up their mud pit a little bit so they can have some nice cool mud, wet mud to get into. I'll go over here and get the goats. Look at the goats. I've got a good feeding situation for the goats. I haven't figured that out yet. I got these troughs that are actually cow feeding troughs. I cut the legs off on them so they'd sit lower. But now you see all they do is get in there. It's full of poop, where they sit in there all day and poop in it. This one is still up high. It doesn't have as much poop in it. They don't get in as bad, but the little ones still climb up and jump in there. Carry on. Come and check the cow water. So I intentionally let these cow waters go dry. They had a little bit in them yesterday. I wanted them to drink them all up. I've had automatic water feeders on them. I just don't care for it. The water, it might be just these waters, but they tend to, because I have the trees, stuff falls in them. They create algae pretty quick. They build up algae in the water, and it gets pretty funky with the automatic feeders keeping it full. So I fill them up, and then about every 2 days, let them run dry, and then come back and fill them up again. That's helped a lot with the algae. You can see those tanks are pretty dang clean. I passed up the goats. The goats are dry. I've got them a little water bucket. If anybody has goats, I can't keep a water clean with these goats. So I've got this little one that I fill up every day for them. And it holds them plenty. I usually come out here in a day and they're about half down. They haven't even drank a whole bucket, so they're pretty good on water. Well, I'll fill them up. We'll move to the cows. Peter. All right, everybody's waiting for me. Swing you around. You can see everybody lined up here waiting for feeding time. Don't have a whole lot of grass out here on the homestead. We've been working on it. Everything is plumb dry. Obviously, I've got way too many cows for my acreage right now, but I'm okay with that because I got plans for them. Still packing hay in here. It's costing me quite a bit to feed them on a monthly bill. I've got some hay here. I've got some hay way back there. Hay run's gonna have to happen tomorrow. I was supposed to do it today, but got caught up at work, so we'll make a hay run tomorrow. Let's go ahead and get these knuckleheads fed. All right, folks, let's go get to the fun stuff. Flip you around right here. Let's get inside the pasture. There ain't no fun being on the outside looking in. Let's get in this bad boy. So, we're working on beefing these cows up through the winter. We've got Amelia right here. Miss Amelia babied a little bull calf this year. Matter of fact, dang near everybody babied a bull calf this past year in 2021. But good looking cow. Got to get her beefed back up. She's a little thin. We've got this new addition here on the homestead. This baby was just born 4 days ago, something like that. His mama's over yonder, but he's still getting adjusted to the homestead. But his mama's over here, Arabella. Matter of fact, where is Arabella? Let me find her for you. Arabella is over there. Okay, so she's tucked away in all these bodies. You can see horn sticking up back there. That's Arabella. She's squeezed in tight over here. This one right here is Arabella. She's in there nice and tight, feeding. She's got a full milk bag. Hopefully she's letting baby eat. It's kind of what we come out here too, to look and view, making sure everything looks like it should, and hers actually does. It's a little down, so this baby bull calf's probably been eating. She just had a baby, so we're gonna work on getting her back up to healthy weight. She was a little thin before this all started, before she had a baby, and of course with the baby just took it even further. Now baby drinking off of her, taking all the nutrients, so we're working on beefing her back up. Got to get her separated, but that's to come. So for those of you who have been following the channel, I'm seeing a few videos a while back. Got some new fencing I put up back here. I've got to finish my cross fencing so that I can separate mamas, thin ones, sick ones, and all that good stuff. I just wasn't set up for them. Got too many of them too quick, and now I'm having to, work through it, which is life on the homestead. If it don't make it interesting, it ain't worth doing. So make it interesting. Let's do stuff that we're not ready for and learn and make ourselves ready along the way. Now, that won't do no good, because what I just did, they're gonna move it by tomorrow. But it'll protect what hay they do have left here, not let everybody get on it, wet it up and poo it up. Walk back here and check on this other hay bale real quick. All right, this other hay bale's got a little more hay in it. That'll last them to tomorrow. I'll get a couple more bales to drop out here, but they just make a mess of it, man. I've got hay everywhere. You see the cows come and do their business all over it. The babies get in there and do the business in the hay ring. Kind of makes it difficult because all the hay gets wasted, doesn't get used. I'm probably at 30%, if not a little more, on waste with hay. I mean, look at all the hay just spread around everywhere. These longhorns get in there, eat it, pull it out, want to get to the bottom, move the hay ring, and hay just gets spread everywhere. But it is what it is. So I'll show you this. I actually had Arabella, the mother of the new bull calf that we just had a few days ago, pinned up in here because I actually came out here 2 days after she had the baby, and she was laying down. When I came back here, I just checked on her. I left her, went back toward the house, came back a few hours later, and she was laying in the same position, just turned around a little bit. So I'll come over here to do a close examination of her, check her out, and of course she was just, I guess, depleted, tired from the birth. She couldn't get up. I tried to get her up, and she tried to get up, but she got on her back. Her back hooves were bit as such, and she wouldn't straighten them out, couldn't get up, didn't have enough energy, so we left her. I built the pen around her. You see the water pail, I gave her a little water in there. I had a food bucket over here. I gave her some grain in there, topped it off with food and water. I left her there, let her feed, let her eat, let her rest. Put the baby in there with her for the night, and she stayed there. I got everything ready. If anybody's had a down cow before, you know what a struggle it is. You know what I'm talking about. I don't have any heavy equipment, so I built this A-frame back here, and I actually had this A-frame, so I built it a while back. I had the same problem with another cow. Unfortunately, that longhorn didn't make it, but this one, I got everything set up. And what I do with that A-frame is I use it, I put a hoist of some sorts on it, chain fall come along with some soft nylon straps, and I use that to to lift their rear end up to assist them and getting them stood up and helping get everything circulated again and get them moving around so it doesn't become a dire situation. But I was able to do that, and I didn't try to lift her. She tried to get up on her own, so that was a good sign. I left her. But again, like I said, anybody who doesn't have a tractor and has cattle or has dealt with a down cow, trying to help somebody get a down cow up without equipment, it's very hard. You know, these cows are heavy, they weigh a lot. And then doing it by yourself is also a chore in its own. So I built this A-frame. I strapped the chainfall on it, put some straps around her, and I'll lift her up just to assist. And then hopefully she gets up and doesn't get too wild and take off with everything attached to her. But lucky for me, this go around, I didn't have to use it. I came back that next day to feed everybody. When I headed this way, I was looking for her and she was still laying down. I poured everybody feed to calm them down. Then I was gonna come back here and assist her. And before I could get back here, before I was done feeding the cows, she was up and helped herself out of the pen and started walking to the feed with everybody else. So that was a good sign. Good little rest. Got a little energy back in her, and she was able to get up all by herself. And we were thankful for that, because we've been on the opposite end of that where she couldn't get up and we ended up having to put her down. It just got too far gone. So we were happy for that. And then in the meantime, we were bottle feeding little baby. And he was thankful that his mama got up and got rid of him that way. And then I actually sold 2 babies outright to an individual that wanted them. And then I sold 2 big cows outright and got my numbers down. So now with the new baby, I'm sitting back. Oh, excuse me. I'm sitting back at 12 cows here on the homestead, which is still too many for me right now and the way I'm set up. But we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna get a few more of these youngins sold. The bull calves gotta go. This beautiful boy here, I'm gonna see how he grows out. He's looking to be going to be a stout little bull. I might keep him intact and sell him as a bull. Then I have the little bull calf that was born just a couple days ago, so obviously I'm gonna see what he's doing. I'll probably end up ringing him and put a band on him and save him for butcher. Those are the only, those are the only two bull calves I have left here. The rest are all females. And I'll probably end up selling them. This youngin here, this all brown one, her mom was actually brindle, so I'm waiting to see if she colors up. If she colors up, brindles up, I'm going to keep her. If not, I'll probably end up selling her. She's approaching 9 months now, I believe. And yeah, so that's an evening here on the homestead. We just come out every day, check and water and feed everybody. This is a deal that if you're looking into getting into animals, I would tell you there's a few things that you need to start with. First and foremost is your fencing. Make sure you have good fencing for whatever animal you're getting. There's a lot of information on there. I'm no expert. There's a lot of information on the interweb that'll tell you what fencing is required for what animals. Speaking from experience, I got my first cows with trying to think of the proper way to say this, but poor fencing. It was very bad fencing. I thought it'll do, and unfortunately for me, the cows taught me that it will not do. They will find the weak link, they will find the bad spot, they will find the low spots, and they will get out. And for the first year here on the homestead, I spent a good majority of the time chasing cows, picking them up from the neighbors, getting phone calls, text messages, hey, your cows are here, hey, your cows are here, your cows are out. So make sure you got good fencing for whatever animals you're gonna get. 2, make sure you can properly care for and handle your animals. Again, I started with cows. Cows are huge, they're big, they're hard to handle. You're not gonna manhandle a cow. Doctoring them was a very unique situation for me. I wasn't set up to doctor animals, but over the years I've had to doctor them. They've gotten hurt, gotten sick, needed medication, needed antibiotics, needed shots, every year shots and medication, fly control, all that good stuff. And so I learned how to do that without having all the fancy equipment. It can be done, but it is very hard and sometimes unsafe. So you always got to take your safety into consideration. These animals, most of the time, don't try to hurt you, but they're big enough that any little movement they do towards you or on you, it will hurt you. And like I said, most of the time they don't mean to. There are some animals that just will simply attack you. Mine are not. They're very calm, tame, cool, and collected, but they will and can hurt you in a heartbeat. So make sure you have a plan to how you're going to treat a sick animal or an animal that needs medication or needs doctor or needs tended to. And then 3, make sure that you can feed your animals. Whether you're putting them on pasture, make sure you're not over pasturing them. As you can see, my pasture is not a pasture, it's dirt. I had way too many animals, way too quick on too little land, and they tore it up. They demolished it, and I'm working on regaining that. Part of that was I didn't have my fencing up, so I couldn't separate them. They were able to run, get out, do the whole pastures. I'm working on the cross fencing to minimize that so I can section them off, let pasture recover, move them around. And then with that, I'm keeping feed in them. If you don't have pasture, gotta make sure you have the money to feed them. They gotta eat every day, just like us. They need feed, they need hay. Hay is not enough. Hay will, if you're getting good quality hay, will sustain them, but it's not gonna grow them. And so I gotta supplement for what my hay lacks in feed. And I feed them, these cows, I feed them every day. I feed them every day with the free range of hay and then fresh water. Another thing is water. Do you have access to water where you're gonna house these animals? I did it. I had to pull water from the house, which is a few acres over. Didn't have no water back here in the pasture. I had to figure that out. I ran water hoses all the way from the house to here to get water to these animals. So, just things you have to think about, take into account when you get animals. And I would say when, but before you get animals. And my tripod in here just went all cattywampus. Sorry, folks. All right, that's enough rambling, but this is something, give you a little look, what we do on a daily out here feeding everybody, watering everybody. If you're interested into getting into it, it is fun. It's enjoyable. Do your research and go with it. So, Nathan from KBL Texas Homestead, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and like always, till next time.